Trump refuses to concede the 2020 election. Why would I do that? So, can anybody anywhere on this planet, on Mars, tell me if they think that Donald Trump will ever concede the 2020 election? Why will you even ask Donald Trump this question when you know that Donald Trump will not concede? Because if Donald Trump concedes that he loses, then he becomes a fool in front of his people. Donald Trump will not, and he will never concede. He knows he loses. He did lose the election, but he will never concede. So when these people are having these interviews and asking Donald Trump questions, they know that Donald Trump will not give the answer they are thinking that he should give. It's become so, I don't know, it just becomes so ridiculous, to be honest.
I asked the president-elect about this extraordinary moment in time. He is taking office against the backdrop of a country that is so sharply divided. And when he has yet to concede the 2020 election.
He's never going to concede.
Sir, I don't
He's never going to concede.
We talked about it. It comes at a time when the country is deeply divided. And now you're going to be leading this country for the next 4 years.
Don't ask him the question.
Unifying this country. Will you concede the 2020 election?
Oh, no. You know Donald Trump is never going to concede. You know Donald Trump is never going to give you the answer that you are expecting him to give you. But you are still asking him the question. And the sad part is, when Donald Trump is going to give an answer that is not the answer that you guys are expecting, instead of going on with a follow-up question, you are going to jump straight to the next question. What was the point then asking the question? If you ask somebody a question and you know he's going to lie, and then he lies, and then you don't follow up with another question to try and get the answer that you're expecting from him, what is the point then asking the question? What is he going to say?
And turn the page on that chapter.
No. Why would I do that? But let me just tell you.
Why would I do that?
The country is deeply divided. I'm not the president.
Why would I do that?
Joe Biden's the president.
But you're going to be the president.
No. I'm not the president. So when you say it's deeply divided, I agree. But Biden's the president. I'm not. And he has been a divider. And you know where he divided it more than anything else, and it probably backfired on him, I think definitely, is weaponization. When he weaponized the Justice Department and he went after his political opponent, me. He went after his political opponent violently because he knew he couldn't beat him. And I think it really was a bad thing. And it really divided our country.
Sir, Democrats have control of the White House now. They didn't in 2020. If they're going around stealing elections.
Yeah. That's a good question. What if Democrats tried to do what he did? By the way, is she going to ask him, what if Joe Biden decides not to attend the inauguration? What if Joe Biden decides to pack his stuff, pack his things, and go to Delaware? What is he going to say? But she's not going to ask that question.
When you say Democrats have control now?
Of the White House.
Yeah,
so
they do.
Why didn't they steal this election? Since they have more power now.
Because I think it was too big to rig.
It's too big to rig.
So you won't...
Too big to rig.
To the people who say that you're now directing your Justice Department to investigate 2020, and they want to move on.
Very capable.
Is that
I think
a
Pam
good
is going to
use
be
of
great.
Precious resources.
By the way,
is that what you want them to do?
Just so you know, I have the right to do that, but I'm not interested in that.
He has the right to do that.
You're not going to do that.
I'm not interested.
Okay.
I have the absolute right. I'm the chief law enforcement officer. You do know that. I'm the president. But I'm not interested in that.
You
know
do
what
know
I'm
that.
Interested in drilling and getting prices down and stopping people from pouring into our border that come from prisons and mental institutions.
One of the things that made this campaign unprecedented and extraordinary were the horrific attempts against your life.
Do you trust the Secret Service? Do you trust the Secret Service? That is the question she's going to ask.
Do you feel safe going into the White House
I do.
for the next 4 years? Why?
I have confidence in Secret Service. I know the people. I got to know a lot of them, and I have confidence. It was a bad moment. Something shouldn't have happened, but I have a lot of confidence, and they've really stepped it up. They were restricted from giving the look. I do a rally, and you were at many of them, and I'd have 50,000 people. Joe would have a rally, and he'd have 30 people. And he has more Secret Service than me. My Secret
because
Service
he's a president. Come on.
for more manpower / women power. They were asking
Manpower
for
/ woman power.
more, and they couldn't get it. I'm not blaming them really, because they were always fighting for more people, and they wouldn't get. Now, boy, do we have it.
I want to ask you, sir, one final question. What do you want to say to Americans who didn't support you?
You know what? This is actually important
I'm going to
because
treat you every bit as well as I.
because she's not going to squeeze any answer from Donald Trump. The point of making some of these interviews are, I don't know. But he's a president. He's going to be a president, so people need to listen to him speak.
In the history of this country, these people are so dedicated to making America great again. It's very simple, and I'm going to treat them just the same as I treat MAGA. We're going to treat everybody good. We want success for our country. We want safety for our country. You know, our country is under threat, as you know. We have a tremendous threat militarily because of the power of weapons and weaponry. It's a tremendous threat. Nobody talks about it, but it's a tremendous threat. I want to treat everybody.
What is he talking about? Tremendous threat. And then he says the power of weapon and weaponry. From who? I thought he was talking about criminals. And now he's talking about tremendous threat from the power of weapon and weaponry. I kind of don't understand that part. I don't understand that part.
Treat everybody the same.
Weave.
I want to treat them well. And at the end of this 4 years, I have a big head start because I was there for 4 years fairly recently. A lot of bad things were done during the 4 years that I wasn't there, and mostly in what they've done.
Bad things were done.
Reputation overseas. Our reputation is so bad, so shot.
That is a lie.
Back, and I also have.
That is a lie. America is still seen as the most powerful country in the world. So, because of him, I think the reputation is going to be tarnished because of his lies and because of the way he talks about people. But second term, we better just give him a benefit of doubt, which I doubt.
I have to bring back civilization to our country. Our country is a crime pot.
Bring back civilization to America. America has no civilization. So civilization will come back to America when Trump takes office in January 20th, 2025. That is when civilization will come back. So now, Americans are uncivilized, including Donald Trump. And civilization is coming back January 20th, 2025.
I have to bring back civilization to our country.
He has to bring back civilization.
Crime pot, and we have to get rid of crime. We have so many things to do. We have to do the prices. We have to do all of that. But we have to get the criminals out of our country. We have to bring down crime. People have to be able to walk across the street and buy a loaf of bread without being shot. And that's going to happen. But what I say,
you are 47th president.
And we're going to all work together. And we're going to bring it together. And you know what's going to bring it together? Success. I saw that just prior to COVID coming in, I had polls that were the highest anyone. McLaughlin and Fabrizio said, George Washington and Abraham Lincoln, if they came back from the dead and they ran as vice president, couldn't beat you, sir. We were doing so well. And I was getting along with the left. Let's call it the left. We'll be nice. Okay, we're just going to call it. But I was getting along with people that you would consider liberal or progressive, as they like to say, at levels that I never thought was possible. And you know what it was? Success. Success was bringing the country together, and that's what I want to do.
Success was bringing the country together. Now, Donald Trump, 4 years of us having this content, 4 years of us having interviews like this, 4 years of, it's going to be an interesting time. Now that also the president of Syria is seeking asylum in Russia, this is going to be a very, very interesting 4 years. Let's give him benefit of doubt. You never know, he might be a change man, which I doubt. Anyway, This interview was 47 minutes, so we've got plenty of sections to react to. It's all what Donald Trump is saying, not us.